Today we'll be doing a simple makeup routine. My friend Katie asked me about doing a makeup tutorial, so this one's for you, Katie. And this little guy is a new mic that I'm trying out that my boyfriend let me borrow. He looks like a little monster. I think he's so cute, so I named him Jerry. So if you're wondering what that is, it's Jerry. Okay, so first of all, we want to start with a daily SPF moisturizer. And this is even if you don't live somewhere that's super hot, it's good just to wear a SPF moisturizer that's kind of light. Just keep your skin protected. This is from, my friend actually gave it to me. She lives in Japan. This is one of her favorites. It's called Can Make Tokyo SPF 50. You don't have to get a fancy Japanese one. There's plenty out there, but try to get something that's at least SPF 30 or above for the most protection. And after you let that dry, we're going to start with a concealer. I like this NARS concealer. I use it in ginger, medium to ginger, which is really good for my skin color. If you're not sure what color you are, you can always go to Sephora and ask them to match you with a shade. And so I just kind of scrape off the extra, and I like to lighten up the area around my eyes because I have some dark circles under my eyes. And I just put a little bit, I kind of dot it around. And then I take a brush like this, and this is really good for moving your mascara around and kind of blending it in. This is actually from Sephora as well. And I'll just use it almost like it's an eraser and just very lightly start to blend it in like this. And I'll do a little bit on the top as well. And you can see like it works really well. I've tried a lot of concealers in my day, and this one I've been using for several years because I've just found that it doesn't get all creasy. It covers pretty well, and it lasts a pretty long time. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to do the other side. I prefer a more natural look, so I don't get all crazy trying to cover up every single dark spot or imperfection. I just want to lighten it up a little bit, and I feel like that already looks kind of better. This one looks a little darker, so I'm going to add a touch more. So I just kind of wipe off the extra so it's not too much, and then add a little bit more. And I'm just kind of brushing in little circular motions. And that's good. Okay. I really like this Bare Minerals powder foundation. I like it because it's really travel friendly. You can just stick it in your purse. And I use medium deep 40 warm. Again, you can go to Sephora if you're not sure what color to get, and they can match you to a shade. And that way you don't have to just buy something blindly hoping that it's the right color. Just go into a Sephora, go into like some sort of a makeup store and ask them to match you to a foundation and a concealer. And it doesn't have to be Sephora. You can go to any sort of makeup place for this. Not everywhere has Bare Minerals, but you can always ask them, what a popular, easy to use foundation or powder foundation is. I prefer this over liquid foundation. I just feel like it's easier to use. And for me, liquid foundation tends to feel like a little bit heavy. I'm sure there are lighter formulas out there, but I just find this really simple and easy to use. So I take a larger brush. This is also from Sephora. And I just kind of, it's very pigmented, so you don't have to like rub it in there. I just kind of dab it in there. Get a little bit like that. And then I'll just really lightly brush it over my face. So close my eyes, do the eye area, and then just kind of go in circles like this. And this is just to kind of even out the skin tone. I'm not trying to cake it on. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. And like it already looks like more even, right? And I can do a little bit more. So I'm just gonna dab it lightly and brush it around. I feel like with makeup, I like the idea of just accentuating your natural beauty and features as opposed to trying to completely change the way you look, because you're already gorgeous, and you know, you can just do little things to accentuate that beauty and appreciate that natural beauty as opposed to trying to make yourself look like somebody that you're not. Okay, next I got this new brow gel recently. It's called e.l.f. Brow Lift. It's only $6 at Target. And I really like it because I don't have a lot of eyebrows. I overplucked them in high school because that was like really cool back then to have really thin, really thin eyebrows back in like the 90s. And they never really grew back. So now I appreciate and I try to hold on to whatever brows I have left. And with this gel, you can take a little brush, a little spoolie like this, and bend it. So you can dab it in there and it separates and accentuates whatever hair is there. So I'm gonna start here. You can just see what's happening, and you can just kind of brush up. I guess it's really like trendy right now to have these, they call them soap eyebrows. I'm not sure where that soap word comes from, but just kind of separate them, brush them out, and if you brush them up, I think it kind of makes you look a little bit more awake. But I don't like it to be super brushed up, so I'm gonna just leave it like that. Okay, and you can see that it looks a little bit more shaped, and it looks like I have a little bit more eyebrow than I did. And then do the other side. I'm gonna brush up first, and then I'm gonna just blend it in. And I'm not using a ton, I'm just kind of like dabbing it in. I don't have a lot of eyebrow right here. Okay, like that. And if you want a little bit more color, then you can use a brow pencil. Any brow pencil will do. This one is BDB. And it's a universal brow pencil, so it's supposed to be a universal color that any skin tone can use. So let's just fill in these gaps a little bit. And again, I'm not trying to make my eyes look like, my eyebrows look completely like a different shape. I'm just filling in where there's gaps. I like a more natural everyday look. If I was going out at night or really trying to get fancy, then I might do my brows a little bit darker or more with an arch in it, but I think that looks good for just like an everyday look. Okay, and you're just going in the direction of the hair growth, so you can really lightly fill it in. And I'm just following the natural curves. Might make it a little bit longer on the end. And then if you mess up, you can just kind of like wipe it off a little bit. Okay, and then just look at them, make sure they look somewhat even. I remember I went to like a makeup event once, And when the woman was doing eyebrows, she said, remember, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So don't obsess about making them like exactly the same, because it's going to be a really frustrating process and they're never going to be like totally exactly the same. So, sisters, not twins. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then I like to curl my eyelashes. This is my favorite one. I've tried the Shiseido one. This is Shu Uemura. It's a Japanese brand, and at least for my eyelashes, which tend to be pretty straight and they go down a lot, they don't naturally curl. So this is the best one I have found. If you can't find this in stores, you can find it online. And again, I'll put it in the description below, but it's Shu Uemura. And then you just, if you've never done this before, you're just kind of putting your lashes in between, and just start really gently, just close to the base of your lashes, and then you squeeze, and then you move it out a little and out a little as you squeeze. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to hold this one a little longer. And it's best to do this when your lashes are dry. Otherwise, it'll be hard to curl them if they're wet. So you can't see them that well yet, but we're gonna put on mascara, so don't worry. Right now, just focus on curling. And you hold for a couple seconds each time, like so. Do one more. Now they're curly. Now we take a mascara. I have tried a lot of different mascaras, and I find that what works best for me is using a waterproof mascara. That's the only thing that holds my curls that I have found thus far in my life. So waterproof mascara is harder to remove, so I use DHC oil-based makeup remover, and that will get the waterproof mascara out. I'll show you what that is. I'll put it in the description below. But this is one that I use from Target. I actually just got this. I find that mascaras from like the drugstore or Target actually work just as well, if not better, than the really expensive ones that I've found in like Sephora. So this was 10 bucks, and some of the ones in Sephora cost like $25, which I think is a lot of money. And this works actually better than the ones that I found there. So this is waterproof Falsies Surreal Maybelline mascara, but a lot of their mascaras work really well. So I'm just trying this one out. And you want to start at the base of your lashes and then just kind of wiggle and work your way out. So that's one coat, and I'm going to do one more coat. I have found that it's easier for me to do a second coat before they dry. If I wait till they dry, then it tends to get a little bit clumpy, but this depends on the mascara that you're using. You can separate them a little bit, but that looks pretty good. Like, it looks thick, they look longer. And then we do the other side. So start at the base, wiggle a little bit, and then slide it out. Wiggle and slide, and just go really slowly. Don't poke your eyeball. Careful when you get to the inner eye. Okay, and then I'll do one more. One more coat. And that looks good. We're almost done. Okay, now the last thing I'm gonna do, or second to last, is I'm gonna put on a little rouge. This is NARS Orgasm Double Duo. So I don't like to put on a ton of rouge or blush. I just want to add a little bit of color. So I actually use the same brush. You can use like a separate blush brush if you want, but I like to keep things really simple. So I'm going to use the same one. And then you smile a little so that your cheek apples stick out. And then you want to put the color right there. And then you can kind of brush it up just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to use this, which is kind of like a highlighter, and I'll just use the edge of the brush, and then I'll go down the cheekbone, kind of like from the temple down the cheekbone, and just really lightly, like that, like you're making a C. And this just adds a little bit of highlight. And then I'll go down the nose, like that, and then here, and then maybe here. So basically where the areas of your face where the light will naturally hit, that's kind of what you're accentuating here when you use the highlighter. And then last but not least, I'm going to do a natural lip liner. This is from Sephora, Rose number 11, and it's just sort of a dusty pink. I don't use a lot of lipstick usually for an everyday look. I kind of just stain my lips a little bit with a pinkish color. And I'm not trying to make this like super defined. Okay. Just kind of line the lips and then fill it in. Yeah. And that's it. Aren't we pretty? I'm gonna take off. This is a really nice like soft headband just for when you are washing your face or doing your makeup, just to keep all the little flyaway hairs at bay. And we'll just take our hair down. And we're ready for the day. I'll put what I used in this tutorial in the description below. I hope that you found this helpful. Remember that you can, if you don't know what kind of makeup or what color foundation or concealer to get, or even what kind of lip color or blush to get, I do recommend just going to a makeup store like Ulta or even MAC or Sephora, somewhere where the workers are trained to match colors for you. If you go into Target or something like that, you know, they don't have people to do that. So if you need help matching colors, go into a makeup store and ask them to help you. And if you don't want to spend a ton of money, then you can get certain things at the drugstore, like the mascara, eyebrow pencils, and yeah, some sort of an SPF moisturizer. So I hope that you enjoyed this and that you have fun accentuating your natural beauty. And remember, we're not trying to completely change the way we look or trying to make ourselves look like somebody else. You know, appreciate what you have, what you look like, and your makeup routine should just sort of enhance that beauty that you already are. Don't feel like you have to completely like make your eyebrows a different shape, or you know, make your skin a different color than it actually is. Just, you know, go with colors that make you feel good, that feel like they blend well, and they make you feel how you want to feel. Again, my name is Julie with Rainbows Are Circles, and if you like this video, you can subscribe to the channel so you get updates whenever I make a new video. And if you want to see a video about something in particular, please put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.